how's it going, everyone? And welcome back. Today is going to be another episode of me going through the Ren-Nu program for a brand new week. If you are looking for a phenomenal program to treat and manage polycystic kidney disease, you should definitely check out the Ren-Nu program by Santa Barbara Nutrients. It is extremely easy to go through. I'm showcasing the program right now, and I have managed and treated and also have shown a lot of reversal in the size of my polycystic kidneys using ketogenic therapy from Santa Barbara Nutrients. And overall, this is a very online-friendly, college-based course in a way where you can access it from your smart device, your cell phone, your tablet, your Windows, laptop, PC, your MacBook. And it's very simple, easy to go through. Every single week, you learn a new thing that can be applied for the rest of your life. And I have a playlist of all my episodes that's going to be down below in the description of this video. Let alone in the description is going to be a link to the Ren-Nu program. So if you have any questions, definitely reach out to them. They're open to answer any questions that you may have, especially about this program. And let's go ahead and dive into this week's episode, which is about a topic that I knew nothing about up until very recently, in the last about a year or so. And I honestly thought that I knew a lot about nutrition in my 20s. I'm 37 years old, and I'm taking all of this information here with me through the remainder of my life. And this week, or rather I should say week number 7, is all about your gut. So a lot of people totally forget that your gut is more important than you think, and it is an organ. A lot of people don't know that your gut is an organ. I kind of really forgot in a way that our gut theoretically is a vital organ, because when you say the word organ, what comes to mind? Obviously, the vast majority of people will probably say, oh, you know, your heart is an organ. Sure, yeah. A lot of people would say, oh, your liver. Oh, your kidneys. We totally forget about our pancreas. We totally forget about our skin, which is the largest organ. We totally forget about our gut. And it is so easy to destroy our gut microbiome, which is vital for kidney health, let alone brain health, let alone just being a healthy person and living a healthy life. Before I kind of really start into this episode, it's a little shocking to learn all this stuff, because when you really do a lot of research, picking certain products at a grocery store, like for example, you want maybe some heavy cream. Well, you got to take the time to actually read the ingredients, because if you don't, you may have an issue with some ingredients. A lot of people go through the course of their life suffering with bloating, suffering with constipation, diarrhea. I've been there for all of those, and it just becomes a norm for you. Some people really just can't handle a lot of fiber, or some people need to be without fiber for a while, aka a carnivore diet. Some people, they need a little fiber. Some people may just need a mix, and some people, if they overdo a lot of stuff, mainly a lot of grains, they don't really do well. One thing looking back at my 20s that I will say is I ate plenty of pizza and pasta. And all the times after I got done eating a gigantic plate of pasta, a lot of pizza, I would always be bloated. And it got to the point where I just accepted it. Being bloated after you eat food, that's not right, okay? If you are being bloated after eating a lot of veggies, a lot of fiber, and it's causing you despair, well, that's when you really got to look at, hey, you know, maybe I got to change some stuff around, especially if you're eating a lot of pasta, which really is not good for polycystic kidney disease at all for many different reasons, but it can definitely upset your gut. So this topic is very crucial, and if you do choose to go through this program, this is 1 week that you should really spend a lot of time on. And if you do go through this program, you have access to go back and rewatch videos to take as much notes as you really need to. And the information is here for you to pretty much learn and understand. So, especially if you have any questions too, the Ren-Nu team, they do have coaching hours where you can actually go on a Zoom call and actually ask questions for more clarification. But the gut is very vital. So, some other things on this week's episode that you will learn is pretty much about how different types of foods really can affect and all the benefits. Definitely for prebiotics, probiotics, prebiotic like garlic, onions, leeks, flax seeds, avocados. They feed the good gut bacteria. Probiotics, some fermented foods, sauerkraut. Not going to try to pronounce that one. Kefir, unsweetened, plain Greek, high protein, high fat yogurt. If you are going to be dabbling into yogurt, especially on a low carb ketogenic diet, or even a or even a very much carnivore diet, you got to make sure that it does have the fat in there. And I do understand a lot of people are very cautious around fat because we've been told to really avoid fat, and hey, a low fat diet does you well. The studies have been shown that low fat diets are not the way to go with treating chronic diseases. You really got to get away from doing a low fat diet, because a low fat diet means you're going to be eating a substantial amount of carbs to be replacing those calories of fats. So you got to keep that in mind. Avoid gut disruptors, ultra processed foods, pretty much fast foods primarily, foods that are very feel good type of mentality. Sodas, obviously, added sugars, seed oils go to fast food. Another thing that I'll go ahead and throw in here is there is zero benefits of alcohol. I don't really mean to be a bubble burster for anyone, but when I started doing ketogenic lifestyle back in May of 2024, almost my 2-year anniversary is coming up, I was still drinking alcohol, and alcohol in me has always been like a elephant is in the room scenario. I'm just going to drink and, totally ignore the next day when my gut is feeling very wonky. So alcohol will destroy your gut. That is a proven, well-known fact, and alcohol has really zero benefits. I actually ended up fully quitting alcohol later of 2024, later that year around November, just because I wanted to feel the most optimal, and looking back, absolutely no regrets at all. So definitely could throw in that. Support digesting, chewing thoroughly, eating slowly, and avoiding large amount of fluids during meals. Manage stress. That's also really a big one as well. Movement. Cardio is great for your gut. Jogging, running. If you're on an elliptical bike, you're on a, or just going, any type of movement. Doing calisthenics, going for a walk. This is 2026. Maybe if you see this video next year, it's going to be 2027. But in 2026, if it's a little rainy outside, you can always grab an umbrella. I mean, hey, yeah, maybe you're going to get a little wet, but hey, you're managing a chronic condition. You gotta be tough. You gotta be willing to get outside when it's cold, get outside when it's a little hot, and walk around and really move. Deep breathing, small movements of mindful exercises each day is great. And last but not least, the things you learn in this week is really all about ingredients. So what we see on the screen here, and I talk a lot about this in many various videos on this channel, is really how ingredients matter. So it looks like this product is a heavy cream carton. If you go to a store, you're going to see multiple different companies that sell heavy cream. However, all those different companies are going to be using different ingredients. Yes, price does matter. Yes, if you're going to be buying something very cheap in a way, chances are, keep it simple. If you walk in and see that there's a thing of heavy cream for like $2, the chances are that, hey, the ingredients are probably going to be a lot of additives to make the product last longer. One of the reasons why that products are priced lower at the grocery store is because it has a longer shelf life. And a lot of these additives that we see, they have been linked to disturbing your gut microbiome. So they can cause harm to you, to me, to all of us if it's consumed, especially if you have one of these weird diseases like polycystic kidney disease. So if you go to a grocery store and you see a heavy cream, very, very organic or very raw, and it might be $1, more or whatever, if you can, definitely choose that option, because it's going to be a lot, it's not going to have a longer shelf life, and there's probably going to be a lot less additives. But you definitely learn this in this week, and it's just absolutely crazy how so many different products do matter. And so many products that you may think is like, hey, super safe, they're just loaded with preservatives and additives to make the shelf life longer. But having a longer shelf life, it could definitely disturb your gut. So to really wrap up today's episode on week number 7 here on the gut, it's very important that everyone, especially treating any disease out there, be mindful that ingredients matter more than you think. And if you're especially suffering with gut issues, you got to zoom out fully, and you got to look at every single ingredient that is going into your body. I challenge you, try to take out an ingredient or a product maybe for 30 days and see if your symptoms go away. I've done it before, and my symptoms have go away that I was suffering with because I was actually consuming a product that was disturbing my gut. Crazy, right? All right, everyone, take it easy. Information is down below in the description if you want more information about the Ren-Nu program. Hopefully everyone is doing great and wonderful and on good health. See you on the next episode. Later.